Welcome to the Immersion Tech stage. Very honored to be here at the first consensus in Hong Kong, moderating a panel for the next-gen protocol, joined by two stellar panelists. We will dive into the topics in the next 20 minutes, but we will kick it off with a round of introduction first. So I'll go first. My name is Annabelle Huang. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Altius Labs. We just recently came out of stealth this week, really. We're building VM-agnostic, modular, high-performance execution layers that are compatible with any chain to future-proof blockchain infrastructure. We recently announced our fundraise backed by Founders Fund and Pantera, along with other investors. So very excited to kick it off today. And I'll let the two of you introduce yourself as well.
All right. My name is Song Mo, and I am APAC lead at the Monad Foundation. Monad is a high-performing EVM layer, which is L1. And we just launched our testnet 12 hours ago, and it's going well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking many things about our ecosystem. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm Mason, head of ecosystem at the Abstract Foundation. Abstract's a layer 2 built on the ZK Sync stack, very consumer-facing. I think we've kind of redesigned crypto UX and the onboarding flow there and built some stuff. So super excited to chat with you guys.
Awesome. Well, I guess we can set the stage by just introducing the underlying chain a bit. Monad just launched a testnet. Abstract launched about a month ago, mainnet.
Yeah, January 27th.
Yeah. So maybe if you can introduce the chains and also the different use cases that are enabled by, uniquely enabled by the underlying chain.
Right. Monad has been building about for like 3 years already, and we are not fork of any kind of technology, and we have been building everything from the scratch. So we have our own BFT, and we have our own execution layer and everything. And we just wanted to make sure we are able to scale the existing Ethereum layer. So, for example, why it was not enabled in Ethereum, you guys can do that in our ecosystem and our technology. So for example, let's say if you wanted to build an on-chain order book DEX, existing Ethereum EVM environment, you just could not do that because there was so low throughput. Like if you are building on top of Monad, based on our high TPS, I think it is really possible for you to build on-chain order book DEX. So there are many kind of applications who are actually trying that. And also, if you are wanting to build a fully on-chain gaming, it is also very possible to build on top of Monad because we have higher throughput compared to the other EVM environments. So our strength is we have very scalable developing environment, which is Solidity, which is many of the other developers are already using. And you can just use that specific tech stack and build on top of Monad again. And then if you have been compromising your creativity because of the technical limitations, you will be able to build many different things. We do create creativity on our ecosystem. Thank you.
Yeah, I think like the way that we're kind of thinking about it is a little bit different from the tech side. Like we think of Abstract as much more of a distribution layer, right? With our native account abstracted wallets. It's a discovery portal, live streaming is there, wallet is there, rewards are there, all in like one place. So when a user comes, like it's a web native experience that really brings in users and allows them to like immediately hop into games, apps, things that are built on top of the platform.
I guess just a quick follow-up to that. Tell us about how Pudgy Penguin's team ended up building a chain and what's the inspiration behind it.
So actually, yeah, like there was the Frame team was originally like they kind of merged together, the Pudgy and the Frame teams, because like the Pudgy team is probably second to none in terms of distribution, right? 3 billion views a month on Pudgy Penguin's GIFs. They really know how to reach out into Web 2, and like we want to grow the pie. Like we don't want to necessarily build something for crypto natives. Like we're trying to build something that can bring new people in, and the Pudgy team is the best at that.
Yeah, and also a follow-up to you, Samo. You mentioned Monad's competitiveness is more in the high-performance tech stack, also EVM compatibility, but how does that compare to, say, a Solana? I'm sure you get this question a lot.
Yes, there are many different aspects to compare, but I think Solana is doing really great in terms of many different aspects, and that's why they are leading ecosystem. But still, what we are trying to do is we want to scale EVM environment, and Solana is just that built on a different tech stack. And as a believer of Ethereum ecosystem environments, we are just focusing on scaling that specific tech solution rather than implementing different tech stack, because Ethereum has been the innovator of this scene from a very long time ago, and they are the ones who actually invented smart contract, which was very important for all of us to be here in this industry. So we still believe Ethereum has a lot of legitimacy, and we want them to be as scalable as possible. So I think Ethereum Virtual Machine is still a very legit tech stack and environment that people should build on. And that's why we are still sticking to that specific tech stack so that we can scale that specific technology.
Got it, got it. And I guess that's a segue to that question for both of you then is how are you onboarding new developers to your chain? You talked about a little bit about the differentiated approach that you have. You know, you guys, one of you guys was more tech focused, maybe one more is consumer focused. But in a world where there's a lot of chains, so how are you able to compete for developer mindshare?
So for Monad, we are trying to bring two different kind of users in terms of the builders, right? So first of all, we want existing very famous and established builders in other ecosystem. So for example, Phantom, Uniswap, they are already building on top of many different EVM chains and even Solana chains. And they will be able to add a lot in terms of our brand awareness and usability for our retail users. And that's why we are focused on bringing in those users. And there could be many different aspects why they're coming in. So for example, Phantom has been working with us more than a year already, and they have been helping a lot in terms of building our testnet. And they have been giving a lot of advices how we should build a UI or UX, and that was really helpful. And at the same time, Phantom is expecting to get a lot more users in the EVM side, because Phantom has been really strong in terms of the Solana ecosystem, and now they are aggressively reaching out to different ecosystem. But they have been showing great interest of acquiring a lot of EVM-based retail users, and that's why we are using our existing EVM-based retail users to bring in more different existing established users. So for example, Phantom, OpenSea, Magic Eden, they're all coming to Mona and they're supporting us. And the another half of important builder group is Mona native builders. So when you think of Solana, for example, you can automatically think of Jupiter or Jito right away. And we are really wanting to have those kind of like very Mona native projects who will be able to bring innovation to the industry. So that's why we are looking into those specific builders. And for those builders, what they are attracted in our ecosystem is they do believe Monad is very big ecosystem. They are emerging ecosystem, and they want to enjoy the first mover advantage. So we are trying to build a very good brand awareness for them. So yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I mentioned, it's much more a distribution platform, and I think the culture, right? Like at the end of the day, the way that I kind of see a blockchain, like it becomes a workspace for builders, and all of these builders are coworkers. So I'm trying to build something extremely cohesive where all these builders are working together, doing innovative things, right? If it's a fun work environment, like innovation comes out of that. So we're kind of like hand selecting, like trying to find these best builders that actually want to work together and build cool things that are very consumer facing. Again, and then we have the streaming platform. So there's a flywheel where streamers are incentivized to play the games, use the apps that are built on the chain. Then they can clip that into marketing content, push that back out, and keep bringing people into the chain.
That makes sense. Switching gears a little bit, we also hear this a lot, that now we just maybe have too many generalized chains. I know each has different focus, but the pain points are real, right? Even as a prolific user myself, having to manage different assets and wallets across different chains, and just fragmentation across different ecosystems. Obviously, you guys have all have different approaches to building your own ecosystem, but how do you think about cross-chain interoperability in a way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually like when a builder asks me like, "Do you care if I'm cross-chain?" Right? Like, as somebody like I built on Blast, my last product, and like Blast was like, you have to put built by Blast in your tag. You need to be only Blast, and I think that's kind of it hinders the ecosystem. Like, I understand like Solana has a lot of liquidity, Monad has great things. Like, people want to tap into each of these things, so generally, I'm pretty comfortable with it, just because. Like, I know that like our product is differentiated, and like we're trying to bring in users from Web 2 rather than more so like catering towards the traditional crypto user.
Just grow the pie for everyone,
Yes.
like you said. Yeah. What about yourself?
Yes. For right now, I think we have a different stage. So when we launch our mainnet, maybe we will be able to target more Web 2 and enterprise and like more brand awareness stuff. But right now, what we are focused on is more crypto native people. And about the fragmentation, I think it is somewhat true, but sometimes it's not really true, because I think the users are getting more smart and smart. So if you are using Solana, it doesn't mean that you cannot use other ecosystem, but there are possibilities that you only have certain amount of asset that you want to invest in specific ecosystem. But I think it's applicable to any different ecosystem, not only for Web3. So I think in order for us to get as many liquidity as possible in terms of in the perspective of Monad, I think it is very important for us to grow our stronger ecosystem so that we can attract real users who are willing to be using our applications and staking their asset in our Monad ecosystem applications. And so in conclusion, what is important is we need to be competitive at first, so that more users can just first come to Monad, so that we can keep attracting more and more users.
So it sounds like a slightly different approach here, where you focus more on building your own ecosystem at first and less maybe connectivity, versus on Abstract, it is embracing maybe interoperability already and grow the pie for Web 2. So on your side, are there any specific solutions that you guys are using or might be planning to use to enable cross-chain and interoperability in some way? Because this is also an area that I care a lot about. I haven't been in this space for a long time, and part of what Altius is building is also trying to address the cross-chain interoperability at a more native level, protocol level, enabled by the shared execution layer. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on this too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we work pretty closely with like Layer 0, Relay, Stargate. So we have a lot of bridges and things like this, where even you're seeing like Telegram trading bots have it directly built in, so people can bridge back and forth. Or working with like a protocol like Slingshot, where you have money on Solana, you want to buy an Abstract meme coin. You have money on Abstract, you want to buy a Solana meme coin. These kind of things, and I think we'll continue to keep scaling those kind of solutions and letting people flow freely.
Yeah, so Layer 0, Wormhole, they're a really close partner of ours. So I think most of the ecosystems are really closely working together with them. And also, I think we have very special ecosystem projects who are actually working on rollup for a Monad. And Monad is already high-performing layer, so I don't think it makes sense for any players to build a rollup to target performance. But if we are targeting more liquidity to be on top of Monad, I think it kind of makes sense. So think of multi-VM layer, liquidity layer. So if there is a specific ecosystem players who can bring in SVM liquidity and like other ecosystem liquidity, I think that makes sense for us to have a roll-up and use Monad as the execution layer. So yeah, some players like that will be benefiting from the I mean, it's kind of a new narrative these days, so I think that is very important for us to work closely with them. Yes.
And to add to my point too is like Pengu, right? Like Pengu is a great example. Launched on Solana, it has uses on Abstract, kind of flows back and forth. So we're very open to that concept.
Amazing, yes. I guess we don't have that much time left, so wanted to give you guys an opportunity to talk about the roadmap for both of you, and maybe what are the either applications or use cases are you most excited about?
Yeah, so today we just launched, yesterday we launched testnet, and there are multiple projects that you can actually try out. So I really recommend you to just try out. If you have been active in EVM, I'm pretty sure you will have some of the Mon token, like testnet Mon tokens in your wallets. We have distributed a lot to different wallets. So use that small like testnet token and try out many different testnet applications. And we are probably going to try out and try to stabilize our testnet for like 4 to 5 months, and then mid this year we'll launch our mainnet too. So that is our roadmap that I can share. And there are approximately 10 to 15 core Asia-based projects that we want to kind of spotlight, because my job is APAC lead, so it's my job to like spotlight those applications. But there are very many good projects, but I'm pretty sure there's a Singapore-based project called Mu Digital, and they are trying to like revolutionize the RWA scene. And there are many interesting consumer side ideas, including a prediction market called Kizzy. They are betting on your influencer, whether to achieve specific follower in specific time frame or not. So there are multiple. So if you go to our testnet landing page, you will be able to see them. So yeah, thank you.
Nice. Yeah. I think in our roadmap, you'll kind of just see the portal continue to get more social, to get more engaging, right? Like we want immersive experiences. We want things where people come in and it just like, I don't know, as you growing up as a kid, right? Like going on to like Miniclip or addictinggames.com and like sneaking on the library, like that feeling of just like, this is so cool, this is like interesting, it's new, fresh. So like continuing to bring like fun games and apps online, making the portal more social, right? We have the streaming, but like getting follows, like subscriptions, things like that built out. Then you'll start to see like Web2 streamers and things like this that are on Twitch probably come over. We've been talking to a lot of them. And as far as games and apps, I think, stuff like Witty, right, is like Wordle, but on chain that you can like bet on. Like that's an interesting, like people play Wordle every single day. But now people love to gamble, right? So you add that element into it, or like Roach Racing, which is just a very interesting like racing game where you're kind of prediction market up or down on a coin that speeds up your cockroach that's running around this track. Like things that are streamable, things that are palpable, right? If we're going to go to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, these places to funnel people back, they need to land onto games and apps that feel familiar and like easy for them to pick up.
Got it. I think we're coming up on time. Thank you both for joining this panel, and looking forward to more actions from both of you guys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You guys.
Thank you.